you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
It's not that people are willing to take the risk. It's just sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
Friends, the time for mediocrity in broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to the Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock, online at tonyjones.org, facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones NRI. Kicking things off with some Ravi Shavi Birds, the name of that one. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out to what is now the number 8 music podcast in the nation. Now, I put a little bit of pressure on Lines and Lust and George Garner last week to get me back into the top 10, and they obliged by getting us back into the top 10. So thank you again for all the support on the podcast front, but of course a big thank you to everybody tuning in and hanging out with us and listening live. Now, the Tony Jones Show is officially, I announced it on WPRO last night, available on iHeartRadio. So if you have the iHeart app, I could read this long website address out for you. But if you're an iHeart user, you have the iHeart app, up in the search bar, just type in Tony Jones Show, and we will come up with about, let's see, about a dozen different podcasts here, the past 12, and then, in perpetuity after that. So if you are an iHeart user, I know iTunes is still the holy grail, but there's also folks out there that are just boycotting anything Apple, and they're mostly iHeart radio users. So go ahead and look for the Tony Jones Show there. Some of the best local music on tap for you between now and the top of the hour, but of course, a big show in studio with me. He's back, DJ Psycho Eddie.
Hello, everybody. Am I on? Yeah, we're on.
He's alive. We found him.
It's typical for summertime. I'm just busy all the time. People want music, and I'm more than happy to bring it to them.
And very excited to have with us drummer of Lines and Lust, drummer of Tony Jones and the Cretan 3. But here tonight, he is the proprietor of Dark Lantern Curiosities. I keep wanting to call it Dark Lantern Oddities, but it's actually Dark Lantern Curiosities. And he's got some interesting stuff. Everybody in this room is going to be at Paracon in just a few weeks' time, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about RJ's collection, and he's got some strange stuff. I've seen some bones in the collection, which is a little freaky. I'm not going to lie. You have two gentlemen in this room of Italian descent, or a little bit of Italian descent. When weird bones start showing up, that sometimes means something completely different. And so I want to talk about Paracon. I also want to talk about, I don't know if you guys heard of this, but it's called the Woolly Mammoth Project. And, if you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of sci-fi, or if you're a fan of the stranger things in the world, this sends up all kind of red flags. Now, this is the real deal. This is happening not too far from here, up at Harvard, where they're trying to bring back, if you will, using an Asian elephant and some old DNA that they have. They're trying to bring back the long distinct woolly mammoth. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This isn't, the stranger things you see in the fake news. This is legit. This is happening up at Harvard. So I want to talk about that, and I can just assume that everybody in this room, all being horror and sci-fi fans, we all have our separate thoughts on what could possibly happen with the woolly mammoth. But before that, of course, the Tony Jones Show is all about the music, which we'll get back to now. The past few weeks, I've been bringing you through the newest 61 Ghosts. I think it's actually the first ever 61 Ghost release. I've been bringing you through that whole album, and we're going to have a double shot from them up next. Here's 61 Ghosts, World Gone Crazy, the name of this one, right here on the Tony Jones Show.
They're gonna add Ray Romano DNA to it.
In a world gone crazy, in a world of sin, cyclone ripping me out of my shirt, whirlpool sucks me in, teardrops on my alarm clock, for never ends till the ringing stop. Rotted fruit on your family tree, broken branches right on top of me. Hear your voice, I hear the rumble, baby, I'm trouble. Personalities I haven't met, gonna do things I'm gonna live to regret. World grind into a halt, finger said it ain't your fault. On a boat in a drift at sea, don't know what's come over me. See the world in a wine bottle haze, sure know how to turn afraid. Hear your voice, I hear the rebel, baby, I'm with you. Trouble, trouble. World of sin, world gone crazy, world of sin. personalities I haven't met. I'm gonna do things, I'm gonna live to regret. The world grinding to a halt. Friend of a friend who said it ain't my fault. On a boat in a drift at sea, I don't know what's come over me. And I see the world in a wine bottle haze. Sure know how to turn that phrase. I hear the rubble, baby, I'm with you. I'm in a world of trouble. I'm in a world of trouble. Is it me or is it him? I don't know the score. This game is wearing thin. You don't need me anymore. There's no looking back. No one's at your door. Standing back to back. You don't need me anymore. Veil from your face. Get on off the floor. I've already been replaced. You don't call me anymore. No, no, there's no looking back. No one's at your door. When we're standing back to back, you don't need me anymore. Anymore. Baby, anymore. Baby, anymore. With her finger on my lips, asking me to hush, but her hands and her hips saying, Joey, what's the rush? No, no, there's no looking back. No one's at your door. And when we're standing back to back, you don't need me anymore.
coming out of 2 from 61 Ghosts right here on the Tony Jones Show. No Looking Back, the one you've just heard. Last time we chatted, I brought you into World Gone Crazy. Some new music right here on the Tony Jones Show. Don't forget, go to tonyjones.org, rifreeradio.org. Click on the contact page if you have music or if you'd like to be in studio. I got to check out some bands this past Thursday night, including the aforementioned Lines and Lust, November Party, Wolfman Chuck, and Shore City at Alchemy. Fantastic night out, and I want all the bands to know that you all have $1 coming your way because we made $4 over the door fee this past Thursday night. So $4, 4 bands. Just make sure you claim it on your taxes so you don't get in trouble. But, a fun night. Wolfman Chuck offending people. Lines and Lust tore it up first. Shore City playing some punk rock. November Party, who I love. I know a lot of people are mixed about the heavier goth stuff, but November Party sounded great. Always great to see Peter and Dorian, those guys. And, I know we say it here all the time, but I love me some Alchemy. That room has gone through a lot of changes over the years, a lot of growing pains, and it's, RJ, would you agree that now it's a little bit classier than it used to be back in the day?
Yeah, it is. They've actually cleaned that room up really nicely. It's got an amazing sound system. The sound guy was really good.
You can use the bathroom without vomiting.
Yeah, but it has that hint of the old jerkies in there because if you look to that little window, it's got all the years and years of stickers, covering it as a blind.
Now, we were talking a little bit, and RJ Gregory here is the drummer from Lines and Lust. He's also the drummer from Tony Jones and the Cretin 3. He's going to be at Paracon with us in a few weeks. We were reminiscing about jerkies this week, and the fact that someone who used to hang out there regularly is Jason Mewes, or Jay of Jay and Silent Bob fame, and you also used to bump into him at the old jerkies back in the day, right?
I did. A friend of mine was there the week before, and I'm a big fan of the Kevin Smith movies, right. And he's like, dude, you never guess who I ran into, and he said, I was drinking with Jason Mewes last night. I said, get out of here. And we ended up going the following week, and we were, hanging out up there, having a couple of drinks, shooting some pool, and sure enough, he walked right in the door, and I was a little starstruck.
I mean, he was, this wasn't, an appearance. He wasn't there doing something, a convention. I mean, he used to just hang out in
down.
There.
Yeah. And Providence used to be cool like that, and
now
not so much anymore,
So talk to us a little bit about the offering that you'll be bringing to Paracon in a few weeks. And, we'll talk a little bit more about Paracon. Eddie and I were there last year and managed to, let's say, there's a couple of food trucks who have additions to their houses, and those additions have plaques with our faces on them for some reason. Rocket Finds Street Food and Elwood's Doghouse. So, not only is it a paranormal convention, but it's, indoor, outdoor kind of, you can spend the weekend there and really have a blast. And so you're going to be vending, and this is is this your first outing with Dark Lantern Curiosities?
Yeah, it is. Dark Lantern Curiosities, it just kind of came about. For years, I've always been into history. I always said if I could go back and do it again, I'd be a history teacher. But I'm big into New England history, and as we all know, Rhode Island is known for vampires, and obviously Salem is known for their witches, and New England has a rich history. So over the years, I dug deeper into everything, and I started to actually be able to come in possession of items of historical significance or whatever that had to do with certain events of New England history. And I just started collecting different, unique items, and my collection has just kind of gotten so big that I said to my wife, hey, you know what, I think it'd be a good idea just to go out and show people, and that's the long and short of it.
And are you going to do a mix of collectible, things you've collected, but also things that you make yourself? I know, we're going back and forth. You have some Blair Witch-esque type things, which must be great to keep the neighbors and the neighborhood kids out of your yard, just to see like a Blair Witch thing.
I figured my Camp Crystal Lake flag I got hanging out there, would do it. But
that'll keep the Jehovah's Witnesses away.
Yeah, I did construct the Blair Witch logos. that I will be selling. Michael Myers has a small logo with a thorn that I made some of those. But my biggest thing that I'm proud of is I'm big into primitive items, and I've learned how to construct primitive style brooms, which look like basically your stereotypical witch brooms.
Right, yeah.
So I've been working on those, and I have quite a few that I've put together, different styles, and they're all one of a kind, handmade, all products from Rhode Island, and I'm going to have those available for sale at the Paracon.
One of the interesting things at Paracon, which is something that I'm a fan, we talk a lot about paranormal stuff, and I'm a skeptic, and I'm open to, kind of any discoveries or any experiences, and I love to hear about them from different people. But what I find particularly interesting is cryptozoology, and that's not just because I could possibly be part Yeti. It's because
I was going with Sasquatch.
It's because these things have happened. They've gone out to sea and found animals that we didn't know existed, or deep into the jungle and found things that we didn't know existed, and it's happened over the years as we continue to see ourselves as, the dominant species on the planet. We keep finding different things out there, and it's always great at Paracon to kind of go through some of the cryptozoology stuff and the Rhode Island specific cryptozoology, which they have been Yeti sightings or Bigfoot sightings out in Exeter and out in those areas, and just to think of the possibility of Rhode Island really being a kind of a destination for vampires and cryptozoology. I mean, when you think this state couldn't get any weirder, there's things like this that happen. So Paracon's going to be happening in 2 weekends, right, for folks listening to us live, the 15th and the 16th, out in Harrisville, Rhode Island. And DJ Psycho Eddie, you provide the voice and the sound of Paracon throughout the weekend, correct?
Well, that depends on who you talk to. As many of your listeners and most of my listeners have already heard me, I don't want to say the word complain, but yeah, we'll use it. I will point out that you get a lot of credit for my work.
Now, I literally, and I mean this is the most literal sense, did nothing at Paracon. I sat around, I walked around, I talked to people, I ate. I did no work. No sweat came from my brow. But as Paracon was wrapping up on the Sunday, people were shaking my hand and saying, "Oh, great job this weekend! Great job this week." My ass sunk into the chair for 2 days straight. Like, if that's a great job, maybe I can find a way to get paid to do this.
They were probably saying, "Good job to be able to eat off the food trucks as much as you did, not have to run in and out of your booth
and not blow out the porta potty."
Exactly.
Well, luckily there is indoor plumbing. However, getting back to the original question, yes, I will be providing. In fact, I just upgraded the sound system, so we will be bringing about 8,000 watts of audio to the event. It will be there the 15th and 16th of July. So yeah, that is 2 weeks away. I will be providing voice talent, tent, and a chair for you to sit on. Really, maybe a fan.
I didn't even have to bring my own chair. Could you do any less?
But no, we will be there, and you know what? If this time, Mindless Self-Indulgence plays, I'm not even going to try to get back there because no one seemed to have complained. I don't know if you know Mindless Self-Indulgence. It's a more aggressive hip-hop rock sound, and they have a lot of curse words in their music, and I accidentally slipped one called Royally Effed. And I was on the complete opposite end of the convention when it was playing. So even if I tried to run, which if you've seen me, you know this is impossible. So even if I walked really quickly, there was no way I was making it before the end of this song. And I look over and there's Tony just standing there. It's like,
looking at the board, trying to figure out what to press.
That blank stare in his eyes. Like he saw a Yeti.
Last year we had a good time. I do have to say the food trucks were amazing.
I have been stalking Rocket's Fine Street Food since seeing them at Paracon, because they do burgers. Providence Flea and they're around town, and that was my first exposure to them, and I've been just steadily following, almost literally, their truck ever since.
Them exposing himself.
I think they have a restraining order against me at this point.
But no, the burgers that we got from there were absolutely amazing last year.
And I think, a lot of people maybe know, speaking of playing some salacious music, a lot of people may be a little bit nervous about, a paranormal convention if it's going to scare kids. It really is a family-friendly outdoor event. And actually, kids looking at their website now, which is riseupparanormal.com, if the kid is 12 and under, they are only $5 for admission. So if you have a younger kid, it is fun for the whole family. And if your kid looks like they're under 12, you can just pass them off as under 12 and save a couple bucks. Let's swing back to the music now. We'll talk a little bit more about Paracon. I also want to get to this Woolly Mammoth project and get everybody's take here because it doesn't give me a warm and fuzzy feeling. But before that, we'll have a double shot of Morris in the East Coast. This track is a track that DJ Psycho Eddie can identify with. This is a track called I Lost My Telephone. You heard it here on The Tony Jones Show.
That's the problem.
Will you love me when I lose my mind. But I'm eating my Cheerios one at a time. And I look at you now, like you're some old friend of mine. We love me and I lose my mind. We love me when I'm barely there. There's a note that I left for you at the foot of the stairs. Said I'll always remember you, but I tend to forget. We love me when I lose my mind. Baby, love, such a strange game. It goes on and on, from dusk until dawn, and summer to fall, and frozen to thaw. But does it die with mine? We love me when I'm bound to die. And it's a short while now as crows surely fly. And dawn isn't breaking, 'cause I fixed it in the night. We love me when I lose my mind. Baby, love, such a strange game. It goes on and on, from dusk until dawn, and summer to fall, and frozen to thaw. But does it die with mine? Does it die with mine?
It was for pleasure.
Not as bad as you think. I don't know. Recreational.
Coming out of 2 from Morris in the East Coast, right here on the Tony Jones Show. Will you still love me when I lose my mind? And before that, I lost my telephone. You heard it here on the Tony Jones Show. We're talking all things Paracon coming up in just 2 weeks' time. Going to be July 15th and 16th. In Harrisville, Rhode Island. I cannot believe this year is halfway over, man. I cannot even believe that it's July. We'll be there. DJ Psycho and I will be there. RJ Gregory will be there with Dark Lantern Curiosities. I said it right this time. We were talking off the air as we were spinning tunes here. What you have, in your collection and what you'll be displaying at the convention is not necessarily for the gore factor. It's more of, in your opinion, kind of an educational experience, correct?
Yeah. A lot of the pieces I have, some of them are for fun. I have a lot of antique Halloween decorations, Ben Cooper costumes in the boxes, and different type of signages and things like that from stores. So, the Halloween part of it's pretty fun. But I also have some medical items, as we were talking about, in the package. You can't really see it on the radio, but in front of us I've got a couple of cranium screws that are used for Halo. And, we were discussing about, if you look at the ends of these things, they're pretty well sharp and pointed.
It's not, it looks like something you could use to build a house, to build a structure. They're not pleasant looking.
Right, and the thing behind it is, with these, we were talking, for example, people will look at them and be like, "Wow, that's really cool." But when I look at them, I'm like, just imagine the pain of what somebody's got to have on their head, for months and months at a time. But even with the historical items, I have some items that I brought, but I have old newspapers that are, date back from the 1800s about different types of, the one that I have, I'll show you in this box here, is actually it's a newspaper from Philadelphia, and it contains the article about Lizzie Borden being transported to prison. and how her attitude is. And, people might say, wow, Lizzie Borden, she's known for murdering, people. But if you look at it, she was obviously never convicted. But she was actually a really well-liked person in the community.
Yeah.
They really respected Lizzie Borden. And she donated to a lot of different charities and had her own charities all the way up to the day she died. And, it's things like that. People, so you have the element of Lizzie Borden being this crazy serial killer. Then you have the paranormal aspect of it of, the Lizzie Borden house where people still go to investigate. And then, you have the other side of it where if you learn who she is as a regular person, she was actually a really nice person and well respected in the community. So I try to give all aspects of everything with a lot of pieces that I have.
Now, later in life, Lizzie Borden won an axe throwing contest. Now, that never really gave me a warm and fuzzy feeling regarding her innocence.
Right.
But, everybody knows the story, too, with Lizzie Borden and kind of the Rhode Island connection, where it was the new guys on patrol that responded to the Lizzie Borden house because the rest of the police force was here in Warwick, Rhode Island on an outing to Rocky Point for the day. It's just one of those, classic Rhode Island connections of one of the, most well-known stories in New England. And, I don't know if you guys are aware, but a few years back, they're actually thinking about selling off and bulldozing the Lizzie Borden house and putting a Starbucks there. Can you think of, I know we're all fans of history in this room and, a little nerdy on that side of things, but even if you're just a casual appreciator of history, it's great that it never went through. Fan of history here, lifelong collector, and concerning history, RJ, you have embarked on what I think is a great kind of weekend hobby way to give back, and that is you just recently adopted a cemetery. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I have I'm obviously married and I have a daughter, but we're always taking different types of trips, going to different historical places. My daughter, only 11 years old, she really enjoys taking these trips, and she's like me. She likes the colonial history, Revolutionary War, pre-Revolutionary War, Civil War, all the different time periods that have helped make this great country. But,
especially in this area.
Yes. And so Father's Day, we decided to take a trip around, and my daughter has never visited the vampire grave sites, for the vampire folklore for Rhode Island.
Right.
And we had stopped by one of the cemeteries to go visit, and the thing is, my daughter had read the stories, so she knew the background, so she knew who she was going to visit, and she knew what they went through, and how it actually is kind of tragic how they were treated, after death, bodies being exhumed and parts of them being burnt. Yeah. So we went to one of the cemeteries, and it was in really, really, really bad condition. We later learned that the vampire we were going to see, or supposed vampire we were going to see, is not even located in that cemetery, because after they exhumed the body, they don't even know what they did with it. Yeah. But anyway, the cemetery was in really bad shape. Stones are broken, stones are falling in the ground, trees had fallen over on them. So my daughter said, "Wow, this is really sad." And she said, "I wish there was a way we could, fix these and give back." And I said, "Well, there might be." So I actually contacted the Exeter Historical Society and went to their meeting and told them, we wanted to help out, clean up the cemeteries, or not just cemeteries, but any other buildings or projects they needed to do. And they were actually very excited about it, because we were given a cemetery to take care of, and we went there today and we started figuring out the work that needs to be done, and how to clean it up, how to fix the the granite pillars that have been broken over the years. And so right now we're volunteering to take care of cemeteries up in Exeter, and that's kind of our way of giving back to history, helping to preserve it the best we can.
And you're way out with that location, way out in farm country, right? The farm country of Exeter?
Yeah, it's actually it's a public cemetery. There's no vampires or ghosts or crazy things in it, so please, be respectful. But it's actually on Austin Farm Road. It's it's historical cemetery number 9, and it's actually pretty interesting because it is a family cemetery, and 2 of the family members in there were actually veterans of the Civil War, which is pretty impressive, to survive that war and come back to Rhode Island. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, we're working on that one right now. I know there's a few big undertakings that they want to get to, and that'll be more towards the fall.
It's interesting to see where, throughout history, where these cemeteries end up, because they are protected here in the States. So, for instance, not far from me is a Burger King, and part of the drive-through, next to the drive-through, is a historic cemetery. And
that's the sad part.
The next building.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it. And, the thing that's pretty neat that I find interesting, and my daughter finds it interesting too, is you learn the history of who these people were in life.
Yeah.
You're not just looking at an old stone with a neat, skeleton on top of it, and you learn who they were and what they did, and historical records are getting better and better. And this family cemetery that we're actually working in, they have every bit of history on them. So it's like we've known them.
Even as close back as World War I, a lot of towns, especially the smaller villages, have a World War I monument, and to look at the names on there and kind of just go back to who those folks were, who made it back from one of the most brutal wars in modern history. It's interesting to see, a lot of times they came back and became pillars of their community, future mayors, future town council people, future business owners, after going through the experience of World War I. Not only did they come back with kind of, I can only assume, a fresh lease on life, but a real effort to going forward, really improving their community. And that's recent history when you think about it.
Yeah.
So I want to swing back to the music, and I do want to get to the Woolly Mammoth project, because I've been thinking about all week how I could sign up for my own pet Woolly Mammoth. Interesting stuff right up at Harvard. But before that, we're going to have quick 2 tracks here from one of my favorite bands. We're going to hear from Listen Lady. This track is Baby, I'm a Manic. You heard it here on The Tony Jones Show.
There's room to turn around. If my mind were a train, it could roll in my brain, but it's okay, it's lying on the ground. Please do and don't leave me alone. Please do and don't leave me alone. Manic and staggered, anxious and panicked. Oh baby, please don't let me go. 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 People I avoid, know they'll find me somehow. 10 minutes to downtown, it's way too far. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. From here, another sorry year that I spent all by myself. I hold my breath to hear all the words so sincere, but it's okay, I'm not by myself. Please do and don't leave me alone. Please do and don't leave me alone. Anxious and panicked, oh baby, please don't let me go. 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 People I avoid, know they'll find me somehow. 10 minutes to downtown, it's way too far. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. People I avoid, know they'll find me somehow. 10 minutes to downtown, it's too fucking far. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. When I'm with you, I'm a tiny little eager mouse, and you are a lion, and we're talking through the walls of your house. If you could see how days I will sit down in Antarctica and revel in the awe of what this world is. 2 miles of ice beneath me will be my throne, and I will rule the emptiness like my kingdom. Dark at night and dark at day, and the closest soul is a continent away. Ideally I would have it to myself, but if you'd like to come as well, I must apply. As we breathe in this very moment, that endless expanse of white is just waiting to be roved and waltzed upon and traversed. But we're overtaken by the unedited universe, where it's dark at night and dark at day, and the closest soul is a continent away. Ideally it would just be me and you, but if our friends want to come too, when we're gone, who will remember this last of sacred muses? Ain't it wrong to just let it go? A mercy killing a war that everyone loses. I'm dreaming and scheming up ways to get to Antarctica. Please point me to a foundation of philanthropist. I'll fake my credentials and counterfeit my Nobel Prize. I'd do anything to see the ice before it dies, where it's dark at night and dark at day, and the closest war is a continent away. Oh, how our expedition team has grown. I don't have to go it alone. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, one of these days.
Antarctica, the name of that one. Some brand new music here on the Tony Jones Show, the Hayride Casualties. Before that, a double shot from Listen Lady, Baby I'm a Manic, and Little Mouse, the name of those 2 tracks. You heard it all here on the Tony Jones Show. Brand new music coming in almost daily to the Tony Jones Show studios. Don't forget TonyJones.org, rifreeradio.org. Click on the contact page. As I gaze over at the clock, I see that it is almost time to go, but I want to talk to you guys quickly about this thing, and I'll call it a thing, called the Woolly Mammoth Revival, or the Woolly Project. And the ultimate goal happening at Harvard right now is to eventually bring back, if you will, or reclone, or I don't know, use the DNA, splice that with an Asian elephant, and bring back the woolly mammoth. Now, the long-term goal is to have a herd of these woolly mammoths and release them to protect the permafrost in order to prevent climate change. So they're saying that woolly mammoths kind of have their own ecosystem, and if you have a herd of woolly mammoths, they'll change the climate. They'll kind of have their own ecosystem out on the Arctic coast, and while they're out there doing their thing, in the pasture, eating the food, protecting the permafrost, they will prevent climate change. Now, that's great, and I love the science behind it. I love it's through Harvard and not someone here in the basement of this mill trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. But on the other side of that, I've seen every sci-fi and horror movie known to man, and I don't know if you guys agree, but this does not give me a warm and fuzzy feeling.
Was it Steven Spielberg that did Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Does he have rights to this process? Because it sounds like there might be an Indominus Rex coming soon. I hope it works. It'd be pretty interesting.
I mean, it would be epic, that's for sure.
Cool, yeah. Just hopefully nobody shoots him. But
in reading, I'm reading one of the articles on that right now. And right now they're just trying to reproduce the cells of the animal.
Right.
And eventually they're going to get around to doing the whole to reproducing the whole animal. I forgot who I was in the room with for a second. I apologize. So the time frame that I'm seeing, they're going to try to start cloning this in 2018. Now,
it's not that far away.
It's next year, sometime next year. So within the next 6 to 18 months, they're going to start trying to do a full clone of the animal. Which is all great, but I'm going to go right back to what we just talked about, Jurassic Park. This has stuff can go wrong in so many ways. Yeah, let's reproduce an animal that's 18 times larger than we are. That we don't even know how it actually existed. Sure, let's see how many times we can screw this one up.
Now, I'm looking at some of their other projects, and one of the animals they're trying to clone is an endangered ferret. In my opinion, that's more like it.
Start small.
If something goes wrong, they have a hen they're trying to reproduce, the passenger pigeon. That's more like it. You screw up with ferrets and hens and pigeons, we're not all going to die.
You could take one out with a shotgun or a broom, or maybe a shovel. if you're like really hostile, maybe a spork or something. But
that would be impressive.
Hey, if something's attacking you and all you have is a spork, I'm pretty
sure
you can hold it with one hand, scoop, stab with the other. I mean, a spork is a viable. Have you ever eaten the coleslaw at KFC? I have cut my mouth on a spork more times than I care to remember. So, this is a dangerous plastic weapon.
And if you swallow a piece of the spork, it cuts twice.
That just means you got to slow down and just chew.
So, you got to chew your food, Peter.
Okay, that's just crazy talk now. Slow down, chew food. What's this?
All right, I want to thank you guys again. We got to get out of here. My guest has been R.J. Gregory. He's going to be at Paracon along with myself and DJ Psycho Eddie, happening July 15th and 16th in Harrisville. Hope to see you all there. And because R.J. Gregory is an award-winning drummer, we're going to go out on a little 1031 to bring out this week's Tony Jones show. I Will Not Drown, the name of this track. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, if you missed the live show, we are in podcast form, iTunes, iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere fine podcasts are available. And we will talk to you next week. Here's a little 1031, I Will Not Drown. Bye, everybody. Bye.